The family of the late Tob Cohen has formally filed a petition to the Public Service Commission seeking the removal of the Director of Public Prosecutions Noordin Haji from office. They are citing what they term as abuse of office. The family, through lawyers Danstan, Omari and Ombeta, asked the Public Service Commission to kick out Haji over mishandling of the Tob Cohen murder case. And as Hassan Mugambi now reports, the voluminous petition claims that the DPP has failed to act on 60% of cases presented before him by the Director of Criminal Investigations.
Wednesday morning, a small group of lawyers marched to the offices of the Public Service Commission. Under the instruction of late businessman Tob Cohen's family, the lawyers, led by Danstan, Omari and Ombeta, are now seeking the removal of DPP Noordin Haji from office. Cohen's sister Gabrielle Van Straten accused the DPP of mishandling her late brother's murder case when he declined to charge Court of Appeal Judge Sankale Olekantai with murder despite evidence submitted by the DCI against the judge. The petition says in part, and I quote, "Such a directive from the DPP does not serve the best interest of justice for the victim's family, the late Tob Cohen, the greater public good, and more so an invasion of freedom and independence of the office of the DCI, who is lawfully empowered to detect crime, investigate it, and bring the perpetrators to face consequences for their actions."
In a ministerial report that we have annexed there, signed by the Minister for Interior and a research done, it is expressly stated that the weakest link in the war against corruption is the Director of Public Prosecution.
Right now, there are about 60% of the files that have been sent to the by the DCI to him to make conclusions and to give directions. He has given nothing. 60% of the files. They are increasing day by day. If we have this person in office tomorrow, the files keep on increasing.
As pressure continues to mount on the arrest and prosecution of Justice Sankale Olekantai, Tob Cohen's family has now taken the war to the doorstep of the Director of Public Prosecution Noordin Haji, seeking his removal from office. According to the petition, the DPP developed cold feet in the prosecution of high-profile cases. The petitioner says that the cold feet developed by the DPP in the prosecution of high-profile matters and sometimes snail speed by the DPP in commencing prosecution of criminals, especially of economic crimes, is telling of the DPP's bias and sometimes incompetence in comprehending the facts of the law. Through her lawyers, Straten faulted the DPP for not prosecuting the KEMSA scandal, saying he has refused to proceed despite overwhelming evidence from relevant parliamentary committees.
The President of the Republic of Kenya gave timelines for KEMSA files to be concluded. To date, they are walking free. It is musical chairs between the DPP and the EACC.
The sister to the late Tob Cohen has also cited the case of Direct Line Assurance Company Limited, where Royal Media Services Chairman Dr. S.K. Macharia is seeking private prosecution against 14 individuals accused of misappropriating 4 billion shillings. The petition reads, and I quote, "It is incomprehensible that the DPP has hitherto not preferred any charges against the suspects in the Direct Line Assurance Company matter, despite the clear and cogent evidence of law and the fact that the directors are guilty of theft of billions belonging to the company and in breach of express provisions of the law."
There are sacred cows that cannot be slaughtered or cannot be brought before the court to answer to their crimes. There has been failure to comply with statutory requirements at the bare minimum, which does not even require any investigator to go and bring in evidence before a competent court of law. But with a clear failure to apply or to accord with statutory timelines, the DPP has refused to move.
The lawyer for one of the accused people writes a letter to the Director of Public Prosecution and informs the Director of Public Prosecution that this matter is lying before a civil court. Out of that notice, contrary to Article 157 that says the Director of Public Prosecution cannot be directed by anybody, the Director of Public Prosecution writes a letter terminating the prosecution, charging of the directors of Direct Line.
The petition comes against the backdrop of evident friction between the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution over the Judge Sankale Ole Kantai matter. The DPP accuses the DCI of failing to conduct investigations as per his recommendations in the Kantai case. On his part, Haji stated that he was ready to face the Public Service Commission and will give a detailed response to them and in court. With the petition received, all eyes are now fixed on the Public Service Commission to see its response to the petition. Hassan Mugambi, Citizen TV.